Sex and Sensuality, the podcast, where we speak what your dirty mind thinks. We are here every Monday night at 9 p.m. chatting about tantalizing topics that most won't dare say aloud. Hello, and welcome back to Sex and Sensuality, the podcast, where we speak what your dirty mind thinks. Y'all, it has been a good little minute. I am your host, Miss Mika Nicole, and I have my co-host, Miss Gigi, back with me. We are so excited to be back, y'all. It has been a little bit. We've had life happening. I don't even did we have Atlas the last time we were on, Gigi?
Oh,
Yes. Yes, we
y-
did. We did have
yes,
Atlas.
yes,
I
yes, yes.
hadn't started school yet, had I? I don't think
No, yeah.
so. No, that's what it is. I started school last October, y'all. So I am working on my doctorate in counselor education and supervision. So it took me away a little bit, but we are back and so excited. We have all new topics this season and just cannot wait to dive deep in there with you. Gigi, what's been going on with you? Talk to me.
Work, girl, and like you said, life and honey. It's just a lot going on.
It is a lot going on, but we are always here to help educate, to help just sit here and just allow this to be your space where you listen and gain some clarity, some knowledge, have a little kiki, drink a little wine if you want to, and just relax with us as we talk about these different topics because this is about you reclaiming who you are as a sensual being. So let's dive into it. Today, our topic is it's a deep topic today, y'all. So we
Mhm.
we wanted to kick this off because it's relevant to what's been happening in the media. But our topic today is reclaiming your body after abuse. It can be very hard when you have been abused or you've been hurt physically and mentally to become that sexual being again or that sensual being again. So we're here to talk about that today. I am not, speaking today as a survivor of abuse or sexual abuse. I am here as a trauma informed therapist and here to where I have held space for many survivors on their healing journey as a therapist, I've worked with a lot of clients who've been through this. So that's the place I'm coming from. Gigi, did you want to talk a little bit about where you're coming from?
Yes, I actually do come from a place of survivor. And so I kind of have a hard time sometimes when I talk about this. It depends on where I am at that moment. So, right now, in a place of peace, trying to form peace around me, I am definitely able to talk about that and how it affected me and be able to probably bring in some insight on the steps and how you get to a better place within yourself when you're moving through the world and your feelings and how you operate after such a trauma.
Yes, thank you. And when we talked about this topic and doing this show today, this was Gigi's choice. I wanted y'all to know that because anytime that I bring this up, I always check in with my clients and my friends to see where they are and how they're feeling before we go into a discussion like this. So I want this to be a moment for you as well. Think about this. Is this a topic that you really want to listen to today? Because if it's not, that's okay. That is okay. It is here when you're ready, or if you feel like it's important for you to hear it. And of course, I always say if you have a someone that you're working with in your healing journey, please make sure you contacting them and talking to them if anything about this episode triggers you. And if you don't have someone along your healing journey, please consider reaching out to someone that can help you through this if it is triggering to you. So let's just use this episode as just a guide for you, not necessarily as a guidebook, but just like a way to help you define that your body is still yours. And this is for anyone who's ever felt disconnected from their body, especially after a violation of trust or safety. Okay. Gigi, before we get there, did you want to kind of talk about why we decided to bring this topic up today?
Yeah, well, everyone I know, unless you were in a little bitty hole somewhere or maybe off on some beautiful island,
Hmm.
we all know what has been transpiring, but within the Diddy trials. And it made me think about some of the pieces because I kind of try to stay away from it because I know, with everything else going on politically, this was just something else that was happening. So I kind of followed up a little bit with Jaji. So she's been very involved in this from the very beginning. But I thought about Cassidy, and
Hmm.
when I saw something on the news, the way they kind of treated her, the things they were saying about her being pregnant at the time, for in the midst of her coming up and speaking in the trial, I thought about what she could be thinking, how she could be feeling in the midst of all of this. So that's what made me think that this would be a great topic to talk about.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just, I applaud her bravery for stepping out to talk about this more,
Mhm.
especially being a mother, especially being married to someone else, and then just being able to get out and go into some of these graphic details that she was able to go into just so people could understand the type of person they had on trial. And I can imagine that had to be very hard for her. And I do hope that she had someone, again, along her healing journey that was there to help her get through this emotionally, and mentally, so that she could get to a place of healing as well. Because this is not easy to talk about.
Right. It's not. It's really not. It's definitely, it takes time depending on different things that have transpired in your life. There's so many different triggers that come up sometimes, things you could be watching, reading, and just in conversation, you could see something, that can definitely trigger those memories and put you in a place of solitude once again, and sometimes depression and reminding you of certain things. So, like you said, I definitely commend her for stepping out and being strong enough to speak her truth, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. And the same for you, Gigi, as well, because I know you went through a really big moment where you spoke your truth too.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I would say through from teen to my 20s, 30s, 40s,
Hmm.
it definitely been each of those milestones in my life. It changed for me.
Yeah.
It definitely changed. I went through moments of blaming myself. Why didn't I speak up sooner? And these are the things that came up in the trial, right? Oh, why didn't she say something sooner? Why this? Why? Unless this is something that has happened to you, you don't understand or know where to go. There's always these different feelings of self blame. I could
Mhm.
have done. Maybe I should have said. Maybe I shouldn't have said. Maybe I should have. You just don't know because you don't want to be in a space of people looking at you and judging you. It's such a hard place in your life. Something like that is very difficult to unwind. For me, it took me to get in my 50s to finally stand up for myself. I finally went, even though time had passed, it was nothing I could really do, but just to be able to walk myself into a police station and put it on record,
Yeah.
it it gave me, I remember standing there and seeing the little girl in me and wishing someone had done that for me when I was that age when it happened. And I felt like at that moment I was standing up for her. Um,
Mm.
and that's sometimes that's really what you need, to
Yeah.
know that here's an adult, even though that adult was now me, I was doing something for her that someone hadn't done for me at that time. And it was like I finally was able to take a breath and exhale.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful. And I'm so happy you were able to do that for yourself. And you're right, that part where I've talked to clients about that too. I said, even if you feel like nothing is being done, reporting it is still something, right? It's
Yeah.
still a next step because now you're helping heal a part of yourself where you felt powerless.
Hmm.
Now you have power and you regain that power when you go and report it. You
Yeah,
regain some of that power for sure. So that was
definitely.
powerful.
It was the
Powerful.
day that the detectives drove from New York all the way out here to New Jersey just to sit down and listen to me.
Mhm.
That also made the difference, right? Because even though I took the steps of putting it on paper, it was having those people come sit with me, hear my story, and then to hear them tell me that, because I'm thinking, I know I took so long to do this. And he said, no. He said just recently he had someone that was a 76-year-old woman
Oh,
that had for
wow.
the first time said it out loud to them.
Wow.
So you just, for people to always say what takes you, so it's just getting the strength. Sometimes it's just recognizing that this even happened. They don't even
Yeah.
realize that sometimes it's so embedded and hidden within your mind, within your body, that you hold on to it. Because, and I guess that's where we go into in speaking, right? The
Yeah.
trauma that we hold in our bodies, you don't even realize.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true. A lot of people don't realize that trauma lives in your body. When a person is violated, or and especially when that person is violated without their consent, whether emotionally, physically, or sexually, it lives in our nervous system, right? Our nervous system starts to respond to protect us. And what happens, our nervous system remembers. It holds on to that. Now you've trained your nervous system in some kind of way, right, to respond to a threat. So you may go numb, you may freeze, you may feel desire and fear at the same time, because our bodies are going to do what it's naturally born to do, right? It's going to respond either in fear, it's going to respond in desire, it's going to respond in want and need. And it's going to do that whether it is a verifiable fear or not.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it will do that. It will do that to you. You may feel guilty for feeling some of those feelings that come with it, but don't feel guilty because that's just normal. But just understanding that it may do that to you, but it doesn't make you weak. These are survival techniques that come up in your body. And again, when we go back to how trauma lives in your body, now your body will react like that, even in situations where there's no threat.
I definitely agree with what you're saying. It's true.
And when I've sat with some of my clients, I try to remind them that sometimes if you're noticing that your body is responding that way in present day, reminding them that, okay, your body did what it was supposed to do at that time, right? And now your body is feeling triggered for some kind of reason, but it's not because you're doing something wrong or the other person is doing something wrong. It just means that you may need a little bit of time. You need to get to a place of safety and care so that your body can start to remember the good feelings that come from those same reactions, right? And the good that can come from someone touching you gently, as opposed to what happened to you at that time. I don't know if that came out very clear, but Gigi, you can help me out if you would like to jump in
No,
there a little bit.
no, it definitely did. I can say for myself, as and I got older in age and having experiences that certain things I realized that I could not tolerate when someone touched me,
Mhm.
because it instantly, whether it was gentle or not, right? And it was a moment of intimacy between me and my partner.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
still a thing I don't like. I don't like someone taking their fingers and touching me, because that's what happened to me when I was violated. So it instantly brings me back there. But
Yeah.
because when someone gets to know you and you speak your truth and you're able to share with someone of safety, and they understand that, then they will take extra caution with your body and
Yeah.
be mindful of how they're touching you in ways to not trigger you.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's important for us to remember too, is that it's so hard to talk about, right? It's
Yeah.
definitely hard to talk about. If we could trust our partners enough to talk about it, and if we feel safe enough to talk about it, that is where a lot of the healing will help come as well, because then you can start to tell your partner what you need or what is not a trigger for you, right? Like with this type of touch, I can handle this type of touch, but I can't handle that type of touch. So that y'all can start working together to rebuild your sensual sensory and that sense of safety for you. You don't have to share your entire story, but it's all about being able to trust someone enough to tell them what it is that works for you and what does not work for you. I think
Right.
that's very important.
Yeah.
But you do get to take your time and you have the right to feel comfortable enough with it for yourself first before you even bring someone else into it. We don't want to force it, just remembering that this is your body.
I think that the biggest part of this is making sure that you are giving yourself grace.
Yeah.
Don't feel like, well, it's been 5 years, it's been 10 years, it's been 30 years since this has happened to me that I should be past it. Don't do that, right?
Yeah.
Try your best to just give yourself grace and move day by day. Allow yourself to feel what you feel at the moment and work yourself through it.
Yeah.
But again, being able to speak outwardly the best that you can in a place of safety and around people that love and care for you.
Yep, I love that. So we could talk about some grounding techniques that you can use for starting to reconnect with your body as well. So I'll start with number one, then we'll let Gigi go into number two. So number one is start with non-sexual touch. This is a way to just help you reclaim your own body and reconnect with your body, right? And it doesn't have to be about sex at all. You can wrap yourself in a soft blanket and you could be unclothed if you want to, but wrap yourself in a soft blanket. This helps you with sensation, the sensoriness of it. Let your hand rest over your heart. That's a way to ground yourself.
Mhm.
You can wear a fabric that feels good on your skin. And then start noticing warmth and pressure and different types of textures. And this is without expectation, right? Sometimes, like, I'll give you an example, and this is away from abuse, but this is more so just in general. Like, when a woman cuddles with the husband or her wife, and sometimes the husband or the wife may expect something sexual. No, this is when we're saying without expectation, it's being able to just notice those sensations on your body without a next step. This is just noticing it in the moment, how soft your skin feel, the different pressures that you feel, the different textures that you feel, but without expecting anything, without
Yeah.
expecting the next step. It's just sitting in that moment. These are things that's going to help ground you when you're feeling maybe fearful or your body freeze up or you're feeling tense or you're having a thought or you feel triggered. You could start doing these types of things to help you. So again, starting with something non-sexual, just wrapping yourself in a blanket, letting your hand rest over your heart, maybe wrapping a scarf around you that's really soft and it feels good on your skin. And again, noticing warmth, pressure, and textures without expectation.
Reflection. So mirror work from neutrality, not judgment, right? So don't force love. Start with noticing. Look into the mirror and say, "This is my body. It survived." You don't have to feel sexy, just witnessing yourself without shame and judgment. I love the mirror because it is the only thing that's going to reflect back your true self, even in the good, the bad, and the indifferent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can look at yourself and just breathe and say just how wonderful you are, how wonderful you feel, how beautiful you are. I think more people need to do that. I love the mirror. That is just, it's just perfect.
Yeah, I love that as well. And you're right, just being able to do that mirror work really makes a big difference because you can look at yourself now, look at yourself from a different perspective, right? Rebuild consent within yourself is number three. Before touching yourself or engaging sexually, you can ask yourself, is this something I want or something I think I should do? That's an important question, right? A
Mhm.
lot of us do engage sexually because we think it's something we should do. And we think that this is the natural progression of a relationship, right? But we don't have to do that. And I think it's good to stop ourselves in that moment to say, is this something I want or something I think I'm supposed to do? Do I feel emotionally safe enough to explore this? And these are asking yourself these questions, just even about your own, even touching yourself, right? Do you
Mhm.
feel emotionally safe enough to explore your own body right now? And then honoring your no. If you feel like this is not something you want to do right now, if you don't want to engage in any of these grounding techniques right now, it's okay to say no and not feel guilty about it. It is okay. And it's okay to say no to other people too. And we can do a segment on that another time, but
Number 4, create a reclamation ritual. Light a candle, write a letter to your body. Wow. I like that. Can you imagine taking the time to just take pen to paper and say to yourself that I love all of my curves, my little bumps, my even the scars I got as a child. Wow, how enlightening that would be. You know how because we're in community, we seem to always look at each other and in judgment. But we, I think, are our biggest critics, right? You know, I have a scar on my leg that I was embarrassed about for so long when I was growing up. It happened when I
mhm.
was really young. I used to wear stockings in the summer because I never wanted that scar seen by others. And then finally, one day, I just stopped wearing the stockings and started being okay with the scar on my leg. Play music that reminds you of strength or softness, and let the ritual be yours, a declaration that healing is happening even in silence.
Oh, I love those. I love those. And that music speaks a lot to you at the time. It can speak so much to you. I know for me, it speaks to me like if I'm going through something, if I listen to a good song, sometimes it just helps me get through it. It
Mhm.
helps me get through it. So I love the music. I love the letter to your body. Okay, so those are our four ways that you can start some grounding techniques in helping you reconnect with who you are if you're finding yourself struggling with that. And of course, these are things you don't have to do alone, meaning that I encourage you to reach out to a therapist, to someone that can help you along your journey, so that if any of this stuff triggers you in any kind of way, you can process it with someone. Or if you have a friend or another survivor that you could talk to, or even someone who's not a survivor but a support to you, that can also be there for you if any of this stuff becomes too much for you. So there are ways that I've witnessed clients reconnect with their body, do like deep breathing. Some people have learned to breathe at a pace of fear. I don't know if you've heard of that before, Gigi, but it's
Yeah.
like that heavy breathing, and they've not learned to breathe in that in that way where you could take a good deep breath, wear lingerie for themselves and not someone else.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, taking pleasure in a sense, a stretch, a song, all those things without shame. Those are ways that I've seen. These moments do matter. These are small victories, and they help you get to a place of healing. They can help you get there if you can take that time to do that. And there is not like a final level of healing. It happens over time. And it continues to happen as you continue to grow in love with yourself again.
hmm I think one of the biggest things that has stood out to me in this, and going back a little bit to Cassidy, is being able to be okay and being okay not being okay. Because I think we continue to move through life and we put on a face, and sometimes we want to make sure that I think, well, I always say one of the biggest things that people will say when someone says, "Are you all right?" You go, "Yeah, I'm all right." Instead of just going, "No, I'm not all right today. I'm not okay right now." And being honest with that. And it takes a lot to practice that, right? Because society has just made it that we go, "Oh, yeah, just put on a face." But it's okay not to be okay.
Mm.
And to know that as you continue to move through this process, because it's going to be ever evolving, ever moving, ever growing, that it's okay.
I love that you said that it is okay. And you're not your trauma. That's something I want people to remember. You're
Mm.
not what happened to you, and you don't have to rush into pleasure to prove that you're healing. That is powerful to me because some people feel like, okay, well, I just got to let him do it. I got to let her have sex with me. I got to let her touch me, or I got to let him do this and do that. No, you do not.
That's right.
You have the right to take your time on your own healing journey. You can ask yourself and your body, what do you need right now? And wait for those answers. And you have the right to say, this is mine again. And I'm ready to do this on my own terms, gently and slowly. Okay. Well, I hope that you all got something from this today. This is a very hard thing to talk about, but I do thank you all for listening. Again, you can reach out to me if you could reach out to Gigi if you would like. Just if you have questions or you just want to talk some things through, the email address will be in the description of this show. And we are here to help you as much as we can help us as well. Gigi, any final thoughts today before we wrap up?
Yes, I want to say, look in the mirror today and smile. Give yourself grace and spread love to you today.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, we thank y'all for joining us today, and we will see y'all next week. You all take care.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Sex and Sensuality, the podcast.